Good morning. Welcome to Texas with Sonya. This morning, let's talk about who we work for. Who do you work for? I'm not asking you who your employer is, even if you're retired. I'm not asking that. Who do you truly work for? Because you got to remember that we now belong to God. We work for Him. So if you go to Colossians 3, I'm going to read 3:23 through 25. It says, work willingly at whatever you do, as though you are working for the Lord rather than people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that your master you are serving is Christ. But if you do what is wrong, you will be paid back for wrong you have done. For God has no favorites. So who are you working for? Who are you working for? You better remember who your employer is, and he sees all. He knows all. So you're on a people job and you playing around. You know you don't earn the money. You know you kind of need to give it back because you just been doing whatever. Or even if you go on the job and you work well, but you got the wrong attitude about it. That's wrong. We're working for the Lord. Or even if you're called to serve His people, you got to do that with the right spirit. You're working for the Lord. We always say, let's do it as if God is watching. Well, let me change that for you. Reframe your thoughts. God is watching. He sees all that we do. He knows all that we do. So we're not fooling Him. And I think a lot of the times we have gotten to a place where before we came to Christ, we have an identity outside of Christ. And some of that we like. And so we hold on to it. People expect certain things out of us. They expect us to behave a certain way. They expect us to handle things a certain way. And that's good. That's your personality. That's fine. You need to make sure it lines up with the things of Christ. He's not mean and nasty. That's not who He is. Now, can He flip the script? Can and will. So is it okay for you to do that? There might be times where you just got to. But remember that you are working for the Lord. So with all of this stuff going on with DEI, and I know it's scary, it's impacting almost everybody that I know. Give it to God. Remind Him, hey, Jesus, I work for you. You said I'd never be forsaken. You said my seed will never beg bread. I see all this going on around me, but I work for you. My children work for you. My grandchildren work for you. My nieces and my nephews, they work for you. In some aspects, it might be your mother and your father. They work for you. Work for you, and we're going to do the work. Because we know that we are just traveling through here. There will be glory after this. There is life after this. There is life after this. So ask Him to help us to be laser focused, that we focus on Him, that we remember that He is the one that we're working for. We don't work for ourselves. We don't work for ourselves. So we need to go to Him and get our directives. And we need to make sure that what we're doing lines up with who He is and who we are in and because of Him. In and through Him is what I started to say. Because He is God. He is God. And we need to make sure that our behaviors, when we are alone and when we are with other people, on a job, in a role of a caretaker, in a role of an advisor, that we remember that we work for Him and that our directives come from Him. And that all that we do and all that we say is pleasing in His sight. Because in the end, only what we do for Him is going to last. Remember, we work for the Lord. We work for the Lord. Work willingly at whatever you do. Don't do it grudgeful-heartedly. Work willingly at whatever you do. Because you're not working for man. You're working for God. And He has an inheritance for you. That is your reward. We are serving Him in all that we do and all that we say. So let's serve Him well. Have an amazing day.